The best birthday gift I ever got was four brutal words that shattered everything. My grandmother always warned, "The truth has a way of clawing its way out." I used to hear it as a threat. Turns out, for me, it became the key that finally unlocked the cage. My name is Elena Vargas. I'm 28, and I work as a senior event coordinator for an upscale agency in Austin, Texas. My entire career is built on making other people's milestones flawless, while my own life quietly unraveled in the background. It started on an ordinary Monday in February. I was at my desk juggling vendor contracts for a corporate gala, reviewing seating charts, and simultaneously on hold with my parents' health insurance company for the fourth time that month. The hold music droned on as I typed an email about floral budgets. When the agent finally answered, I reset my mom's password in minutes, texted her the details, and went back to work. Another cold coffee sat untouched beside me. This was just Monday. That afternoon, a calendar alert popped up. Your birthday is in 9 months. Plan something special? I stared at it, then typed yes. For once, this celebration would be mine alone. You can't understand that decision without knowing my mother, Isabella Vargas. At 53, she didn't just enter rooms. She pulled everything toward her like gravity. On paper, our family looked perfect. A modest home in the suburbs north of Austin, my dad in supply chain management, my mom leading community fundraisers, and me, the reliable daughter who never caused waves. Inside, every choice, from my college major to my apartment lease, required her input. Not advice. Approval. The first time I picked something without consulting her, the silent treatment lasted days. Her disappointment was a weapon sharper than any shout. My father, Miguel, 54, had mastered quiet agreement. He loved me in his gentle way, but he never once told her enough. I confided in my best friend, Sofia Ramirez, that night over wine. She's the kind of friend who cuts through bullshit. After I described another canceled family dinner and endless errands I handled for my parents, she said, "You're pouring from an empty cup, Elena. When do you stop pretending it's still full?" That conversation lit the fuse. I had 9 months. I would use every one. Over the following months, the pattern repeated in small, suffocating ways. 3 family holidays where I organized everything only to hear backhanded comments about my stable but unexciting job. 1 promotion announcement met with "Don't let work scare off a good man." Then came the breaking point 6 weeks before my birthday. During a high-stakes client meeting with a bride planning a $50,000 destination-style reception, my mother barged in unannounced with just a few garden clippings she thought I might like. She interrupted, showed photos of past events I'd planned, and turned the meeting into her showcase. The client politely rescheduled, then ghosted us. A massive account vanished, not from malice, but from my mother's inability to see that my world didn't revolve around her schedule. That night, I told Sofia, "I'm planning my birthday party. My way. And I'm inviting her as a guest only." I spent the next weeks meticulously arranging everything. A cozy private room at a trendy wine lounge in East Austin called the Oak Barrel. 30 guests, my colleagues, old college friends, my quirky upstairs neighbor who walked his rescue dog past my door daily. No input from my parents. I signed a lease for a 1-bedroom in Portland, Oregon, and quietly accepted a senior role at a larger events firm there starting in the new year. Everything was in motion. My mother called repeatedly offering help with centerpieces, decorations, even the guest list. Each time I gently but firmly reminded her she was a guest. Her tone stayed sweet, but the underlying tension grew. My father made one awkward call trying to smooth things over. I held my ground. On the night of October 12th, I arrived early at the Oak Barrel. The room felt warm and intimate, low lights, wooden tables, a playlist I'd curated. Guests trickled in, laughter, hugs, genuine conversations. Sofia arrived and gave me a knowing nod. My parents showed up last. My mother scanned the unfamiliar faces, her smile tightening slightly when she realized she knew no one. The evening flowed beautifully until 8:45 p.m. As I was enjoying a slice of cake, my mother stood without warning. "Everyone, can I have a moment?" Her voice carried that practiced sincerity. The room quieted. I've been listening to all these lovely things about Elena tonight, but I think it's time for some real family honesty. She looked straight at me. We never truly loved you the way parents should.
I don't know why.
But you deserve the truth. Silence crashed down like a wave. 30 pairs of eyes froze. I set down my plate slowly. The fear I'd carried for years crystallized into something sharper, clarity. I stood, met her gaze, and said calmly, "Thank you for finally saying it out loud." Then I grabbed my coat and walked out the side door into the cool October night without looking back. I sat in my car for several minutes, engine off, letting the words settle. My grandmother's old saying echoed differently now. Sometimes the truth isn't a wrecking ball, it's the last lock clicking open. Sophia joined me soon after. She recounted how several guests calmly confronted my mother, how the party deflated, and how my parents were left in an empty room. Calls and texts flooded my phone that night and the next day, mostly from my father asking for logins to accounts I'd managed for years, or my mother insisting her honesty came from love. I didn't engage deeply. Instead, I finalized my resignation and prepared for the move. In the months that followed in Portland, the small freedoms hit hardest. Drinking hot coffee uninterrupted, mornings without managing someone else's calendar. My new job thrived. Conversations with extended family became real, not transactional. My mother's voicemail arrived eventually, defensive, tearful, claiming she'd spoken out of care. I deleted it. My father sent a short text. "We're figuring things out here. Hope Oregon suits you." I replied simply, "It does." The truth had clawed its way out, exactly as my grandmother predicted. But instead of destroying me, it freed me. Here's what my story reveals. When you quietly carry everyone's weight, they stop noticing the load or you. Some people only value you once you stop being their invisible support system. If you've been managing a parent or anyone who treats your boundaries like suggestions and your efforts like obligations, ask yourself, how long have you called it love when it's really fear of rocking the boat? The real gift wasn't the 4 painful words. It was the door they finally opened. I stepped through it, and I never looked back.